Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond Crystals. My name is Meg Moonbeam, and I'm here with Sunny from Pluto. How's it going, Sunny?
It's good. It's going. How are you?
It's going. Yeah, I'm good. Trudging through this Mercury retrograde. Have you been feeling it?
Yeah.
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 Just
Just random things, little annoyances, and now I'm PMSing, so everything is like extremely annoying to me.
Okay. Yeah. Good times.
I need my space.
You need your space.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yay, we're back. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about ways to cleanse your crystals, something very, very important. I think that we should be trying to do on a regular basis when we're doing crystal healing, working with the crystals. There's a bit of feedback on your end, Sunny. Do you have something set up differently?
I don't think so.
Like you can hear my voice.
Is it my microphone? Hold on. Is that better? Talk.
Hey, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, it should be okay now.
Okay.
Yeah, I could hear like my voice echoing in your
Okay.
computer.
Maybe it was my microphone. I don't know.
Mercury retrograde. Anyways, talking about the importance of cleansing our crystals. And before we get into that, you guys can find us over at thescorplingshop.com, where we've currently got our new Jupiter and Cancer Lucky Charms collection available. And over on the Beyond Mystic Academy, Ashala has this new Feng Shui workshop, Feng Shui Home and Land Clearing, with a live Q&A available. So you can go check that out at the Academy. Sunny, do you ever work with Feng Shui?
I have a little bit when I had like my own place. And I would like to again in the future. But yeah, totally. Definitely like to look for what the different directions are for certain things, like abundance corner or like feminine corners, masculine quarters, water, air, fire, all that kind of stuff. It's interesting. Mm-hmm. It's also interesting to see where you set things up intuitively and then look at the feng shui and see like if you actually followed it without even knowing, which that's happened to me before.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not super into feng shui yet, but when I have done some things around it, it's definitely created an immediate energy shift. And I do feel like it's something very important, which we can use crystals as a part of feng shui.
Yeah.
Of course. You and I, Sunny, we both like to put the Christies around the home, do some grid work. That can be a whole other show we can perhaps do one day. And over on the Academy as well, there's the annual Midsummer Sale where you can currently get 50% off all the courses and workshop with code SUMMER50. So yeah, before we get into ways to cleanse the crystals, Sunny, how are you feeling right now with the current energies that we've got going on? Have you been having any interesting dreams or feelings about anything, or just are you feeling totally normal?
No. Yeah, I've been having dreams nonstop. I've been having like different body aches. I've been finding that like some of my money has been going into like really stupid areas that it doesn't need to be going into. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just like random weird things happening, like us being taken on an off-road trail the other day through the GPS, which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had a dream. This is so weird. I told you this, but I'll just tell everybody. I had a dream last night that I had a son, that I actually like dreamt myself giving birth to I was pregnant and I saw myself being pregnant and I knew I was having a son. And then I saw myself giving birth and I didn't feel any pain, but like I saw the whole process of it. And then my son came out and he was a Taurus with his moon in Libra and his rising Sagittarius. And then I just remember talking about like what he's going to be like. And like, he's probably going to be such a big man because of like the Taurus with the rising Sagittarius. So I'm like, oh my God, he's going to be so big. All the girls are going to like him. He's going to be so dynamic and his energy, like very grounded and like likes home and family, but also very like artistic and creative and expressive and like wild. And yeah, pretty sure 9 months from now is Taurus season. So it kind of freaked me out.
What is going on? Oh my God.
I was like, oh shit. But we'll
Oh my goodness. That
see.
is very, very interesting. Okay.
I am PMSing right now though, so I don't. If a baby gets created in here within the next few days, it's a miracle.
That would be a Christy miracle, a
Yeah.
world miracle.
Isn't that so specific about the sun, moon, and rising? I'm like, what the
That's
hell? I've never dreamt that before.
Taurus sun, moon in
Libra.
Libra, and Sat. That's very specific.
Like, what the hell? And I was like, in my dream too, like while I was dreaming, my like conscious brain was like, oh, I need to remember this because I'm gonna tell Meg when I wake up, and I don't want to forget because she's gonna be like, what the hell? This is so weird. And then like throughout my sleep time, even throughout like different parts of my dream, this is the Aquarius moon. Throughout the different parts of my different dreams I was having, I was like, okay, wait, what was the signs from the other dream again? Okay, yeah, I gotta tell Meg. It's so weird. It's weird. Like, can you do that when you're dreaming? Can you like think consciously, but also be dreaming at the same time and like store like different thoughts and make notes about things?
Sometimes, but I'm usually not aware that it's a dream while I'm dreaming.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like there's different forms of consciousness, but in recent years, I haven't been doing as much like lucid dreaming for whatever reason. I'm so tired by the time bedtime comes. I just want to get knocked out. But I think we are doing a lot on the sleep levels that we might not even be conscious of.
Yeah, probably.
Sure. So, Sunny, cleansing our crystals. Why is it important to cleanse our crystals?
Well, it depends on what you're using them for, what they're doing, and what's going on around them, I think, or like if your intention changes, or even if, I think again, every time somebody asks questions about crystals, it's very layered because it's very situational. So, for example, like crystals that I have in my room, I'm not like cleansing them all the time. Crystals that I carry around with me or that I have on me, I'll most likely like cleanse or activate like often or set intentions for often. Yeah. So crystals, if you're using crystals on people or on yourself too for like energy healing, that's definitely something that you want to cleanse before and after every time. And so or like okay, so let's say this has happened to me before, so I'll use this as an example. I said earlier that I don't cleanse crystals that are in my room too often. But there was an instance a long time ago when I was going out with a not very nice person, and they were in my room and they were like pointing at my crystals and like yelling and like really aggressive and like angry, and they were like pointing at my crystals like at the same time. So I was like, okay, please do not direct your like negative energy. I don't even know if they knew that they were doing that, which is screwed up. So I think that was like some type of an entity that like was trying to actually attack me through his verbal attack, because those are crystals that are right near my bed, right near my head, and you're whatever's attached to you, whatever's coming out of you through the sound vibrations and through your intentions and your electromagnetic field is like actually you're programming that into my crystals. And I was like, get the hell out of here. So I had to cleanse those like right away. So that's an example. If somebody came in my room and started yelling and shit like around my crystals and was like not a good vibe, I would be like, I'm sorry, and cleanse them. So that's an example of when I would do that in my room.
I think that is such a good point, as you're saying, that it is very situational, and definitely people were using crystals for different things. So you have some rock hounds out there, that's a term we can use for people that love crystals, rock hounds. Some people just love the crystals, not even for the spiritual meaning of it, just for the aesthetic beauty, or there's crystal or, mineral collectors. So there's people doing that. I think most of the people here on the Beyond Mystic channel are interested in some of the more spiritual significance of the crystals. So there's, being open to the crystal healing aspects, whether that's for yourself personally or totally to echo what you just said. If you're going to be doing healing work on other people, you got to cleanse those crystals like every single time. Unless sometimes, and we'll get into this today, there are some crystals that don't need to be cleansed. So we'll be going over what some of those are today. But definitely if you're going to be doing healing work, and I notice, Sunny, can you notice, like just tell when you look at somebody's crystals, if they're kind of like worn out energetically in the sense, and they need to be cleansed. I can see that just by looking at the crystal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I feel like way more off of other people's crystals than my own. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm around my crystals all the time, maybe because it has like my own like egos attached to it or whatever. But
Like
whenever
you feel energetically more?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I'm used to these crystals because they're in my vicinity all the time. But whenever I see somebody else's crystals, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe it's you can't have, what's that saying? What you can't have, you want, or
yeah,
I don't know.
You want what you can't have.
You want what you can't have, or
I don't
something
know if
like
it's me wanting it, but it's like I definitely feel like the energy off the crystals, but it could also be too like the work that the person's doing with the crystals, what they're doing. I don't know. Or because I've never met them before, so I just feel them in a different way. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. So very important to be cleansing our crystals. And I'm the same way. I'm not like every full moon or, every single day cleansing every single crystal. I definitely, I think what I personally cleanse the most is my jujus made by Sunny, or my bracelets, or my crystal rings, because I tend to wear those almost on a daily basis. So yeah, it is very important if you're going to be working with crystals to cleanse them. And, not even necessarily just because there may be a negative energy or something really messed up, but just we're processing a lot. And the crystals are also bringing up a lot for us, right? Many of these crystals can clear emotional blocks, spiritual energies that if we don't cleanse the crystals, they do help in the transmutation, but they can kind of have little stickiness from those situations. Would you say that resonates, Sunny?
Yeah, it's weird because I don't know how to explain this. I agree with that. And yes, I cleanse my crystals too. But sometimes like I have a theory that is it the crystal or is it exactly what you said, like what the crystal is helping you process or what the crystal is showing you. Like, for example, like what that crystal picked up or I don't know, recognized in that person, or what was recognized in that person because of the crystal. So because crystals are solid and they're vibrating at a very high frequency at all times. So it's weird. It's like is the word nuanced? It's like nuanced, where it's like, is it the actual crystal that needs to be cleansed, or is it the like what the medicine of the crystal, like what it was processing, does that need to just be like, I don't know, is it an us thing or is it a crystal thing? Sometimes I think about that, because we're changing. The crystal's not changing. The crystal is helping us process, or we're processing things, and the crystal is kind of there supporting us through that. So sometimes I have like a theory that it might be a way to reset like our consciousness through working with the crystal. Or if there's like a blanket around the crystal. I don't know. Does that make sense? Do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, that does make sense. I do feel like what I feel intuitively, it's like the crystals I always look at them as elemental beings, right? And they are like healers, and they are kind of light workers. So me as Meg, if I'm going to be helping someone in a sound healing and they're coming to me and there's something really intense being processed, I am going to cleanse my energy, even though I was just supporting that person with what they were going through.
Exactly.
So I don't know if that makes sense, but it's kind of similar to where it's not necessary, it's not mine per se, but I do kind of need like a readjustment to shake it off or to come back into my own energy field.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense too, because it's crystal healing. So it's us working with them. So it does make sense. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. Again, metaphysics, not physical. It's metaphysical. So it's hard to explain these things into words when you're just feeling the vibes.
Exactly. Jay Clark says, how do you cleanse the crystals? Well, we're going to get into that now. Truth is, you guys, there's many ways that we can cleanse the crystals. Sunny, because there's something coming to mind for me, is there something coming to mind for you in terms of the most important, not most important, the way that any of us can cleanse our crystals in any moment?
Yeah.
Thinking about that.
In any moment, if you don't have like any extra tools or anything.
Yeah. Like we got all these tools that we're going to be talking about, but there's also just doing it a certain way, literally in any moment with just you yourself.
Yeah. So you can just cleanse your crystals yourself by resetting your intention or the intention of the crystal. You could use your voice. So you could literally sing into the crystal. You could do like different tones, like with the intention of cleansing the crystal, something like that. That's an example. Or you could even put the crystal like either up, you could speak into it, or you could even put it like on your throat. So the vibration goes into it, and literally say like you're vibrating at your highest frequency, or you're vibrating at your highest frequency, and hold it in your hands and hold it to your heart. Or you could say like a prayer if you want to make like your own crystal cleansing prayer. So that's something that you can do at any moment. If you feel like unsettled, if you feel like something weird happened, if you're feeling like the crystal is needing to be cleansed, you can do that at any moment, which is my favorite because you don't need anything else. It's just you.
Right.
While using some of the tools like sound or intention or that you can use in different ways too.
Definitely. So I always like to be mindful of that because our intention is always very, very important and like the most powerful thing. And we have to be mindful that yes, there's some of these tools that we're going to be talking about, but we don't have to go outside of ourselves to be able to lock back in with the crystal and kind of both readjust our energies from something. So exactly what you said, Sunny, intention, singing into the crystal, speaking into the crystal, also praying to the universe. I would say something like, I call upon the highest light and love energies available that work with me and this crystal that I have to cleanse, clear, purify it to its highest energy that it wants to be for its highest good in this moment. So, you can say prayers, affirmations as well. What are some other kind of ways that we can cleanse the crystals, Sunny?
Well, I love water, although not all crystals can go in water. I really like to go to a natural source of water, but if you can't, and like the sink is fine, but you do have to make sure that your crystal is safe to go into the water. Good thing about water is too that it physically cleanses them too. So we know like our rooms get dusty and crystals collect dust. So
yeah,
my favorite water sources are like streams or rivers or like little waterfalls. I like to put my crystals in there so the water's like running.
the running water.
Yeah, I like running water.
Where if you think about too, sorry to interrupt you, but usually running water tends to be clean, more clean than still water. So also when it comes to the metaphysical and like the meanings of things, we also want to look to like those just common sense aspects too, right? If it's water that's just sitting there, okay, it's not necessarily negative. Not all of it is filled with a disease or a bacteria. It's more still, whereas if it's running or there's waves or it's under a tap, like you were saying, Sunny, there's movement, there's flow, there's chi as well.
Yeah. So definitely specifying that if you do use water at home, make sure that you do it like under running water. If you want to cleanse your crystals and you're keeping them in, and if you're doing more than one at a time and you're just keeping them in the bowl, then all that energy that you're wanting to cleanse is just going into that water in the bowl and they're just sitting in it. So, and that's going to amplify all of that. It's not really going to cleanse it. Because like, so this has nothing to do with cleansing crystals, but if you put like a crystal in water and then you drink the water, like the energy of that crystal is going to the water and drinking it. Would you want to drink the water that the crystals that you want to cleanse or have been sitting in for like a few hours? Probably not.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, running water.
And what crystals can we not put in water? I know selenite we do not want to put into water.
Yeah.
Right?
So any crystals that are soft, so you can just basically, if you're not sure, look it up on Google. But there are some crystals that are softer than others. So I would just suggest like anything that's like below maybe 5, do not put in water. And anything that like has copper. Yeah. So the malachite you don't want to put in water.
Okay.
Labradorite, I didn't know that you couldn't put that underwater.
I didn't know that either.
But it says after a long time. So I think if you're putting it under water, like running water, I think it should be fine. Metals you don't really want to put underwater. Celestite is very sensitive, you don't want to put it underwater. Halite is a salt, so any type of salt you do not want to put it underwater.
Yeah.
Tangerine quartz, I don't know about that. I don't think it's gonna fade. Like, it's gonna take a lot to make tangerine quartz fade. Like, you would have to even okay. I had a citrine, and I wanted to see if I could make it really clear. And I put it in iron out for like 3 days, and it didn't do anything. So I don't think water is gonna make your tangerine quartz fade, to be honest.
You put it in iron out?
Yeah. So there's a way to clean crystals. Like, so let's say if you went like actual rock hounding and picked some crystals out of the ground, sometimes they'll have like dirt really stuck on there, or iron like coatings on there that kind of take away from like the beauty, the real aesthetic beauty of the crystal. And then you can put them in iron out, and the iron out like will clean the iron off the crystal. So and also moldavite, it can break in hot water. Okay, yeah, if you put it in boiling water, maybe, because it's glass. So no one's gonna do that unless you're that stupid. But no offense to anybody who did that, but it's pretty dumb. So yeah, anything that's soft or flaky, like the micas. It says mica. Lepidolite is mica.
I didn't know pyrite. I guess that's not a metal. Pyrite's not a metal.
Pyrite's metal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pyrite's a soft metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to put metal on the water.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got intention, we've got water, we've also got, we can cleanse our Christies with, oh my God, I had a picture here. Now I don't have a picture. With smoke, okay, with sage smoke, with Palo Santo smoke, with smoke or sprays as well.
I was going to say that too, yeah, sprays.
Yeah, like I've got I love my white sage. I think I got this from Sedona. This brand, Kate's Magic, I am obsessed with. I don't know if she only has it in Sedona or what, but every time we go to Arizona, I'm stocking up on those sprays and oils because they're amazing. Side note. Yeah, sprays, anything you can burn that cleanses the energy, not just Palo Santo or sage. There's, what's that thing? Devil's Club, cedar, sweetgrass, all that kind of stuff. That's one of my personal favorite ways. Also. Bay leaves.
Basically anything that you can burn.
Yeah.
That you align with the magic of, the medicine of, for sure.
Yeah. Burn it all away. For sure. Have you ever had a situation, Sunny, where you were cleansing a crystal and the crystal made it apparent to you that they didn't like the way that they were being cleansed?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it was like, don't do that, but I definitely, before I choose which crystals want to be cleansed and stuff, I can feel like what would be most like what way would be most beneficial. So did you have that like with a certain crystal? It was like, don't do that.
Not that's coming to mind, just the thought came in, and I was wondering if you've ever had that. But that's something I think also, like, maybe if you guys wanted to be really intense, you could even do that. Like, we can talk to the crystals. These are beings. Everything has a consciousness. And ask, let me feel, crystal, or whatever name it has. How would you like to be cleansed? Right? And you could just take a moment to feel into, what are you receiving? Are you receiving that the crystal wants some sound, some smoke, some water, going outside? That's another one as well. Rick says, I love burning lavender. Yeah, lavender is really nice to burn. NT691 says, Megs, can't tell how old you are, which means you're probably older than I think, because she's so advanced. Whoa. I know what it's like. All beautiful, soulful folks look younger than we are. Well, I don't know how old you think I am, but I'm 32 at the moment. So I feel like sometimes I look older, sometimes I look younger. When you're a Scorpio, we change. We can look different.
Yeah, when I was 12, people thought I was 18. So, and now I'm 30 and people think I'm 12. So,
yeah.
Not actually 12, but younger than 30.
Yeah, we get carded. We still get carded.
in Alberta, I got carded. I don't get carded here like ever. In Alberta, people were carding me. I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Bjorny says, does pink salt work to cleanse crystals?
Yep. So that's one of them. It's salt. You can use any kind of salt. You can use Himalayan salt. You can use Celtic salt, you can use black salt, you can use sea salt, you could even use table salt, because all salt has this cleansing properties. I don't even know what is it. It's the ions, the negative ions. It
I
cleanses
think that's,
and
yeah, I
purifies.
think that's what it is.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny too, because like you were talking about water, running water, it's common sense. Running water cleans your
Right.
body.
Right.
Salt has been used for millions of years to purify, preserve, and to cleanse, meat, spaces, yourself. So it's the same with magic or metaphysical science, is that, yeah, salt, placing your crystal in salt will cleanse it.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you, Sunny, but when there's been something for myself personally, like something really paranormally weird or really negative energy, salt seems to be the thing, honestly, out of anything that can like immediately take away something really adverse or dark.
I think too that could be over because of how it's been used for that purpose for so many years, that it's like recognizable. Just like
Right.
the cross is recognizable to like demons, or Jesus is recognizable to a demon. It's like, oh shit, that's the thing that's gonna take me out. I know what you're talking about. I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Yeah, that's a good point. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, like I'll share an example. When I was in my late teens and I did a Ouija board one time and had a very negative, like demonic experience, literally demonic experience. As soon as I created a circle of salt, covered myself in salt, the energy completely shifted. Also, I had a few years ago when I was in Belgium, really random story, but just to give you guys an example, a friend had introduced me to someone that I'd never met before. And as soon as I hugged this person, I felt like I was dying. I felt like I was having an anxiety attack. I felt really, really messed up, to the point where I had to leave the situation. I had to like make up an excuse and leave because I felt so, so bad. And when I got home, I called our friend Sandy Duncan, who's the most amazing psychic medium that I've ever met in my life. I don't know about you, Sunny, but she's a really amazing medium. And Sandy said, create a salt circle outside, go in, breathe, ground into the earth, and cover yourself in salt. And as soon as I did that, I went from feeling like I was literally dying, having a panic attack, to completely fine. 3 days later, that guy that I hugged almost died in a bike accident, and his ear got ripped off.
That's fucked up.
Isn't that crazy? So yeah, salt, I think it's really great.
So obviously there was something attached to him or whatever.
Right.
Which is the reason why he probably got into a negative situation, and it was also trying to attach to you, or you're just picking up on it.
Yeah.
That's more than just like a premonition, because you actually felt like personally attacked.
Yeah, for sure. Brianna J says, how long do you salt them for? That sounds funny. But yeah, how long do you salt them for?
Whenever I do like, so I would like bury them in the salt. So whenever I would do that, or like even put them in dirt or outside, I like to do it for like 24 hours minimum. Because it's just it's like they're going back into the ground, like where they came from. I know some people who unless they're like, so I like to have my crystals out, and I know you like to have your crystals out, but unless like they're actually using them for something specific, they will wrap their crystals up and like put them in a drawer so that they can be in complete darkness, so that they can hold like their pristine energy, which to me, it makes me feel sad because I love my crystals, but no, it makes sense because crystals grew in the dirt. They're from inside the blackness. So as much as you could cover them when you're cleansing them with salt or dirt, like that's probably one of the best ways to do it, because it's like they're going back home.
Yeah. I never thought of it that way before, but I think that's why I also really love to just put them outside on the earth, which isn't necessarily putting them in the earth, but yeah, it is like bringing them back home.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, the crystals come from a completely different environment than us as humans.
Yeah.
Right? They're literally like inner earth beings.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
So being put on the earth, it's like connecting back to like the electromagnetic field of the earth.
Yeah.
So getting back to like alignment. Yeah.
which our homes and, a lot of spaces that we spend time in are disconnected from that because of the materials, the fake materials used. So we get connected to that by wearing, earthing clothing or being outside like barefoot, right?
Salt.
Yeah. Sister Nobody
So-
says, salt bath save me.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about that too. When it comes to salt and crystals and maybe even salt water. If you're having like a salt bath, I think it's okay to put a crystal that's hard enough to go into the water with you. I think that's okay, and that's like once in a while. But to maybe put like a crystal in a bowl of like concentrated salt water, I would maybe not do that as often because it can become like abrasive, like when it's wet. You know what I mean? So I would just keep that in mind.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good point. And like this picture I've just brought up on Google, you guys, you can literally like cover a crystal in salt or even just have it on top of salt. That can be good too. Very cleansing. Jody says, hey ladies, I've always wanted to know what to do with all our unused crystals at any time. Very good question. Well, Sunny just kind of touched on that, you can have them out if you want to have them out being displayed. Or if you feel to, as Sunny was saying, like actually cover them so they can keep their pristine energy. One of our friends does that. So it's also just feeling out what you want to do with the crystals too, what you're feeling from them. Yeah.
It is cool though when you do go to a crystal that's been covered up for a while and you feel it. It's like bam! It's like you met it again for the first time. I think it's an interesting way to take care of them. I just like to, I don't know. It could be because I'm a Scorpio with the Leo rising. Everything's like mine. I just need to know where all my things are. I want to see all my pretty things. Taurus South Node. Like I just need to know where everything's at.
Yeah, definitely. So we've talked about intention, water, smoke, sprays, salt, going outside, just putting them on the earth, getting grounded outside. What about Sunny with the sun and the moon? Do you ever like to cleanse around the full moon time, put them out in the sunlight? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I do like to put them outside, but it's funny because I guess there's a cleansing element to it because you would put them on the ground. But then when it comes to like the moon or the sun with like the astrology and also like the other planets that are happening, it can also kind of be like a charging situation. So it's like you're not only cleansing them, they're actually like absorbing the energy of the astrological alignments at the time too. So sometimes you want to be careful with that.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned on this show before, I put water and I put crystals out on a Scorpio eclipse, full moon eclipse, which a lot of people would not recommend, but I'm crazy like that. I was like, show me what you got. But yeah, that might be a little bit harsh for some people. So unless you want everything to like kind of fall apart and actually deal with the hard things and make the changes that you're too scared to make and have a tower moment, that's not something that you might want to do all the time, is putting your crystals under an eclipse, especially a Scorpio one. So
oh my God. Yeah. Especially a Scorpio one.
yeah. Oh, also with the sunlight too, some crystals again are very sensitive to light. So if you keep your crystals out in the sunlight for like very long periods of time, they can fade.
Yes.
So kunzite is one of those crystals that it will fade.
Amethyst is one of those as well, right?
Yeah. Amethyst is, I feel like it depends on the type of amethyst. If it's like really, really dark amethyst, I feel like it would take more than a week, honestly, because I haven't noticed that. Rose quartz will, fluorite will, but they take a long time. If it's like a big rock that you just have outside, I feel like it's going to take a while. It will happen eventually, but some crystals are like really sensitive to the light. So I don't care. I'll put my amethyst out in the sunlight because it's not going to be out there for like 2 weeks.
Right.
But let's say you had an amethyst in like a really, really sunny window for like a year, you might notice it fade a bit.
Yeah.
So some crystals are more sensitive than others. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It would fade a bit. That's for sure. Yeah. Are there any other ways that we like to cleanse?
There's a lot of ways. So we touched on this before when we were talking about ourselves. sound. So sound is my absolute favorite way to cleanse crystals because it is a vibration of high vibration. So not only sound with my voice or my intention speaking it into the crystal, but I love to use crystal bowls or Tibetan singing bowls or tingshas or anything that creates like a high vibrational, clean, clear sound. That's my favorite way to cleanse crystals. I love it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that is a really nice way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Love the sound healing. And raises their frequency big time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's why I like, especially the crystal bowls too, because the frequencies are like super high, the vibrations. I love it. I feel like the crystals really like it too. They're just like, yeah, like I can just feel like they're happy when I'm doing it. Another way too is like visualization. So kind of like prayer or like the intention setting. So when you are setting the intention, like asking the crystal or asking the universe to have the crystal be vibrating at its highest frequency, you can also be like visualizing that at the same time, or you can just stare at the crystal and visualize like an aura around it, or you can like visualize its energy like being cleansed and like really vibrating like high, like you can actually see like a white aura or something going up. That's a way to do it. Dowsing, even you could use what is that called, a pendulum. So, but the pendulum, depending on what the material is, the pendulum would have to be cleansed too. So if it's a metal, metals usually hold their frequency. Or if it's crystal, it would have to be cleansed as well. That'd be interesting, actually. If you do use dowsing for cleansing, if you use pendulums, I've been saying that a lot today. If you use pendulums for cleansing at any time and it is a crystal pendulum, I would suggest just keeping that pendulum like on like a little dish of like salt all the time.
Right.
And maybe once in a while changing out the salt. Because then the pendulum's like always ready and like cleansed to be like, if that resonates with you, always ready to be used. You can also use other crystals. Certain crystals that don't necessarily need to be cleansed, you can use those to cleanse other crystals. So like selenite or kyanite. I have kyanite here. You can use it to cleanse a crystal, or apophyllite. I'm wearing apophyllite here. You can do that, or like a crystal cluster. I like to do that too, to cleanse crystals. Sometimes if I have smaller crystals, I can, like if I have a big crystal cluster, or depending on the size ratio, you can put the crystal into or on top of a cluster or in a geode. That's a good way to cleanse them too.
Cool.
I feel like there's probably more. Can you think of anything else? There's probably so many
more. There's definitely
so many ways.
Oh my God. Well, there's so many things that have a cleansing property to them, right? So there's some ways that you guys might even be thinking about right now that we didn't bring up.
Like
rain. Yeah. I think we've gone over the main ones though.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions about anything in the live chat about cleansing crystals, anything that we've talked about so far in today's show? Bjorny, yes. Sunshine, we kind of touched on that before. The sun, yes. But as Sunny was saying, we want to be mindful of some of the crystals are really sensitive to sunlight. Some of them will fade if they spend a lot of time in the sunlight. So if it's just like one day, most crystals will be, fine, or a few hours. But yeah, sunshine for sure. Anything else you want to share, Sunny, on today's topic?
I can't really think of anything right now. What else should we talk about?
Well, I think we've talked about it unless there's anything else. Bjorny says Reiki. Yeah, Reiki, of course, energy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anything that cleanses and raises the vibration, you can cleanse your crystals with. If it's safe for the crystal.
Definitely. For sure. Love the Reiki. Barno says cleansing and charging at the same time. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that can happen for sure.
Like we're talking about the sun and the moon and being on the earth. It's like, yeah. That could also be like upgrade, like energy upgrade too, because it's cleansing out what's already been worked with. Because and you're going to be working with it, so the crystal's actually just doing the work that you need. So if
Mm-hmm.
you really feel like you want to put like for me, like I said before, I'll use it as an example again. I felt like putting my crystals out under the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio, even though all the astrologers were like, don't put your crystals out tonight. And I was like, I remember I saw like all these. I woke up. I remember this. I woke up and I was like, yo, I'm putting my crystals out under this Scorpio eclipse. I don't give a shit. And then I saw so many videos of like all of these astrologers being like, don't do that. Don't do this. And I was like, whatever, screw you. I'm like, probably not everybody should do this, but I'm going to do this. And it's because I needed that. I needed like that extra, the push. The crystals, no. I always say the crystals always know. They're like in the future. Things that are happening to you that then you learn kind of is what the crystal's medicine is. It's because the crystal, I don't even know how to explain this. The crystals are like one step ahead of you. The things that you're attracting in your life that you're not fully conscious of, it might be because you have this crystal on you and that's what it's there to do.
Right.
Or you channel something and like months or years in advance, and then it aligns, this one thing that you channeled aligns with this specific crystal. I don't know how to put that into an example, but it happens all the time. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like you'll channel something and then I don't know, you'll get this crystal and what you channeled kind of aligns while you have this crystal. I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
It happens all the time. It's weird. It's really weird. So then that I like that. I like channeling something in advance and then learning or like being like reinforced when I have a certain crystal, because then that crystal I'll know what that crystal does.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Sorry, in the corner of my eye, I for the past few days have seen something like walk by the window the past few days, and there's nobody there.
Okay, that's
so I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
There's no flies in your house?
Yeah, but I think they're from the backyard outside because my family member always leaves the door open.
Okay.
So
did I even I feel like I went off on a tangent. I was talking about the example of like the putting my crystals in the full moon and lunar eclipse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like an energy upgrade. So so the crystal consciousness and my higher consciousness knew that it would actually be beneficial for me to put the crystal outside. So it's like the crystal sets aside everything else that we learned from each other, or that I've learned from it in the past, and it goes outside to be cleansed on the ground, but also to be charged with that full moon lunar eclipse Scorpio energy. So yes, like the cleansing and the charging can happen at the same time.
Definitely, for sure. John, tuning forks? I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say tuning forks. You can't really hear them, but like they have a vibration, so that's fine. If you can like put it on there, just hopefully it doesn't break the crystal. But or put it close to it. I was thinking that too.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think we've gone over a lot of the ways to cleanse your crystals, you guys. Jody says, can you recommend a cheat sheet that has loads of crystal benefits, please? Well, stay tuned, everybody, because we're going to have something coming up. We're not going to say exactly what it is right now, but Sunny and I will have something coming up that will be very helpful for anybody wanting to know specific crystal benefits or
what does that mean? I don't know what that means.
The cheat sheet, like
crystal benefits?
Like to see specific crystals and their benefits.
Well, you can also go on our website.
Yeah, Sunny has channeled a lot of the meanings on the website.
But yes, we also have something very exciting coming up that you guys can refer to.
Yeah. If you guys go to the website, go to the bar and then go to crystal properties. Sunny has literally channeled, no AI up in here. Okay. This is all literally hand channeled. That doesn't really make sense, but you guys know what I mean. All these crystals. And
I keep adding more. The more I learn about different crystals, the more I add. So this is like a few years in the making.
Yeah.
Also, there used to be, I don't know what happened. There was like a glitch, some Mercury retrograde glitch. There used to be photos of each crystal, and then they just disappeared randomly. So
That's
I have to
so weird.
I know I'm gonna have to fix that, which I'm not looking forward to because it's gonna take forever. But whatever. Thank you.
Spunky
Box
Diane
of
says, thank you so much, Sunny and Meg. Yesterday, I received a new box of rocks, and I love, love, love them. Well, thank you so much for supporting the shop, and happy that you got your box of rocks. Thank you guys so much for the positive comments. And I can't believe we're in August. It's just absolutely nuts. We're in August. We'll be back next week with another episode of Beyond Crystals. And I don't think we don't have a specific topic yet, do we, Sunny? Let us know in the comments, you guys. We really appreciate your comments and seeing what you would like us to talk about. There's so many different things with the Crystal Kingdom that we can possibly talk about. And very important, if you're starting your crystal healing journey, to cleanse the crystals for sure. So I'm happy that we did a whole show on this, actually, because it is really important.
And people ask about it a lot. Also, under the crystal properties tab on our page, I also put down a few, there's crystal formations too. So we talked about kind of the quartz formations last week.
Yeah.
Different crystals can have these formations too, not only quartz crystals. It's mostly quartz crystals, but some crystals can also have like double terminated or I don't know what else is another example. And hydros, etc. Inclusions.
Yeah. That's important.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's not every formation, but it's quite a few.
Your video, quartz is so cool. Awesome. Well, thank you, Sunny, for another amazing show, and thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. You can find us.
Almost over.
It's almost over. It'll be over on Monday. Can't wait. We'll wake up on Monday Eastern time and it'll be over. I can't wait. So you can come check us out at thescorplingshop.com, and be sure to check out as well Ashala's new feng shui workshop available on the Beyond Mystic Academy. Woohoo! And also on the Beyond Mystic channel after this show, 8 p.m. Eastern, JC and Janine will be live for the Beyond the News on the Insider Access Pass. Have a magical day and rest of your week, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.